Good morning, good noon, good evening, wherever time and place you're listening to us from, straight from the 909. It's Mark, the Realist.
What up?
Ali, Hip Hop's Godson.
What up?
And myself, Nesquik, and together,
That's Hip Hop.
Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. It really does mean a lot. We're on our way, getting closer to the 2,000 mark on YouTube, so we really appreciate you guys' help on that.
Yes,
so
sir.
close. Today, we're discussing a young legend heralding from South Carolina, known for his sharp lyricism, classic hip-hop influences, and effortless wordplay. His style blends the storytelling depth of the 1990s hip-hop legends like Nas and Jay-Z with the modern polish of contemporary artists. He delivers intricate bars over soulful, sample-heavy beats, reminiscent of the golden era of hip-hop, but with a fresh southern twist. His ability to craft vivid imagery, punchlines, and introspective narratives really sets him apart from many of his peers. Lyrically, Nick Grant is often praised for his technical ability, mixing witty metaphors with social conscious themes. His flow is smooth yet commanding, making him a standout among modern lyricists. His projects often carried a redefined, almost jazz-like production style, creating an elevated listening experience that appeals to hip-hop purists. Though he hasn't reached mainstream superstardom, Nick Grant has solidified his place as one of the most respected lyricists of his generation. His debut album, Return of the Cool, was a critically acclaimed project that introduced him as a torchbearer for hip-hop's golden age aesthetics. He's been co-signed by legends such as Nas, Andre 3000, T.I., proving his credibility among the elite of MCs. We're discussing his third studio album, Sunday Dinner, released September 22nd, 2023. This one's really fresh under the label Infinity and Records. Singles on this were Since Elementary, Catch This Fade, and Two Sides. I don't have the chart information on the U.S. Billboard because it's so fresh still, but I know down the line that'll probably come. But
this may be the freshest album we've done.
Yeah,
one of them, other than the LL joint.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Length on this was 54 minutes and 33 seconds. Today was one of our viewers' choice for the album. So peace to you guys for choosing this album.
This episode was brought to you by viewers like you.
Yeah. So it's really dope that we have the chance to cover something that, the people chose.
Absolutely.
It's a little different. When I first saw the name Nick Grant, I thought, well, I never heard of him. So for me, just taking it like that, just from their recommendation, I thought, oh, let's see what this is. Let's see who Nick Grant is. And come to find, this dude's like a real deal.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Like,
We're not going to fall for hey, you should review this album. And it's like the same dude, guy requesting it is actually coincidentally the guy performing it too.
Or it's his cousin or something. Cousin.
Oh, no. Nick Grant's been around. He's been around.
Yeah. So I listened to his stuff and I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, this is worthy of being covered.
Run it through the filter.
You can hear it lyrically. His presence is commanding, just like how we were covering Black Thought. Like, you can tell there's certain guys who just got it.
Yeah.
Nick Grant's one of those guys.
Absolutely.
So, peace for the recommendation on this one. And the fact that this one's on the newer end.
Yes.
We're used to covering some classics back in the golden era.
80s, 90s, few 2000s.
Yeah.
But
wasn't a lot of there wasn't a lot of dust to blow off of this album.
Yeah.
This is a year and a half ago.
So it's really dope because, just kind of getting to know a little bit about Nick Grant, knowing that he has some co-signers such as like Andre 3000. The story is like Andre 3000 went to one of his shows, was in the crowd, and he was just like performing. But it was so weird for him because he looks up to Andre 3000 and Andre 3000 is looking up to him in a performance.
That makes sense.
It's really crazy. He has the cosigns and the respects of a lot of these artists, even Kendrick Lamar. Mm-hmm. He talks about that he could have potentially been on TDE very easily, and that could have happened, but they just went their own routes on that. But that could have been a possibility. It's just kind of cool to see that he has the respect so early on, and it's worthy of respect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, you could tell he's put in the work, and he has a different style, a different approach. Like, if you listen to the album before Sunday Dinner, completely different album. Like we're talking about the Loveland. It's so like funky and fun. It makes you want to dance. Totally different style. Sounds more like an Andre 3000 on that album. And then you come to the Sunday dinner and it's like, nah, but don't get it twisted. I can rap.
Right.
And for like all the MCs, you're like put on notice. Like, oh dang, okay, this guy's here. Like, I thought that aspect to him is what's different from a lot of other artists because he can do both.
Yes.
Which is dope.
That in combination with how important his network is with getting the various stamps of approval, not by like a consistent string of artists who sound the same, but having a wide range of various approvals like that show you how diverse he truly is.
Right.
Absolutely.
Like he talked about wanting to get Missy Elliott on his album. Like he's legit seeking her to jump on. And Missy Elliott's a unique, different type of artist who can kind of do it all. You know, R&B. She can sing. She can like rap. You know? So it's like, it's kind of cool to see like if these are the kind of artists that he wants to get on, it shows you what kind of artist he is, you know, very dynamic. And I thought that's so dope because it just leaves you kind of wanting more and interested to see what else he could come up with. Yeah. You know? So that's pretty dope. What did you guys get? What was your impressions of Nick Grant, or what was your first time listening to Nick Grant? One of you guys.
This was going to be the first time me hearing Nick Grant. When you guys recommended him, I didn't know about him, but listening to him, he sounds quite familiar. And there's I was texting it to the guys in our group chat, and I was telling them, I'm like, dude, he vocally sounds like Andre 3000, but he's distinctly different from him in a lyrical sense. But it's funny that you introduced him with those notions of Andre 3000, because if you don't really fall away from the learning tree that you learned where you got your style from, because he sounds like him almost you could kind of like at certain points you're like, once you get that, like, was that Andre 3000?
Right.
He has such a unique voice that getting confused by for him is a big nod, because he has such a distinct voice.
Absolutely.
Like, akin to having as a distinct voice is common.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you totally recognizable.
Right. Right.
So it was a very exciting listen though. He's a very diverse MC.
Yeah.
Yeah. My introduction to him had to be around, I want to say 2017. His first mixtape, I don't know if it was his first mixtape, but he dropped a mixtape in 2016 called 88. So I got on it in 2017, and he had a song called Black Sinatra.
Yeah.
That song sold me. The whole song is fire, and his punchline game is crazy. But there was one line that just sold me forever. He said something like, he said, "Never trust a chick in leopard bra, she a cheetah." Like, that was just such a clever way to like really describe, a different type of female. You know what I mean? Like, leopard bras, cheetah, like that just, I loved how he played with those words in that particular line. But yeah, so 2017 was when I first heard of him. But yes, definitely the 3000 comparisons are there. But my thing that I just love the most about him is he's a Southern MC that is lyrical, that can hang with anybody. You know what I mean? I like hearing different, because everyone knows the East Coast for the lyricists. But like to hear a Southern MC that can spit with whoever.
Yeah, that could go toe to toe with like a Kendrick.
Whoever, yeah. He could be Kendrick, Cole. He could go on a song with, whoever, Black Thought, Nas, whoever. Like, he could do records with all of them and hold his own. You know what I mean? Like, one of the songs on the album that he did went toe to toe with Ransom. Underground MC, Ransom is a beast. Ransom is not to be played with on the mic. Straight, East Coast, super lyrical. And Nick Grant goes bar for bar with him, and it's an incredible record. Like, I just like the fact of Nick Grant, even down to his name, like, it's his real name. So, like, whenever you get those artists that use their real name, they're giving you themselves, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of times in hip-hop, which, it's not a bad thing, but, like, you're getting like a character to a degree.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even if it's their true personality, maybe it's their true personality turned up or turned down. But when you got somebody using their actual government name, they are truly giving you themselves. You know what I mean? Like that's what I so whenever I hear that or see that, it's like, okay, this is just me. This isn't some superhero character I came up with. This is my true actual self in lyrical form.
Do you guys feel the same kind of notion that I do when someone uses an authentic name like that, where they have nowhere to hide, in a sense of like, this is just me 100%?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the vulnerability. And I mean, we kind of mentioned him a little bit off camera before this, but I truly think the one that kind of opened the door on that was Kanye. Like, that's what you got. Like, you got me. You know what I mean? He uses government name.
Yeah.
And then later on, you fast forward, you have Kendrick Lamar, you have J. Cole, you have Drake, that's his middle name. You know what I mean? These guys are using their actual names in their stage name. Like, they're not creating a character per se. This is who I am. They may, like I said, they may elevate or tone down that personality, but they're giving you themselves.
Yeah.
You know, Talib Kweli, that's his name. You know what I mean? Like, anytime an MC does that, now, yeah, you'll have some that maybe have a play on their name, like Lil Wayne or Eminem, you know what I mean? Something like that, where they'll take their actual name and come up with some type of moniker, you know what I mean? Eminem for Marshall Mathers, you know, Lil Wayne's name is Dwayne Carter, but, you know, just Lil Wayne. So, but you'll get those ones that just give you their actual true government name, where it's like you said, nowhere to hide. It's almost like instant vulnerability.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm doing my research to make sure that Little Uzi Vert, I gotta see if that's actually his government name. I'm still doing my research on that for you guys. You do make a good point though with that just being like, there's not a lot, like, we're dealing with MCs from 2010 on that have given themselves up in terms of like, I don't want to have it. Well, I don't want to have an MC name. I prefer this.
But then I think of Tupac. Tupac Shakur was a real one.
That's his name. Yep, Tupac. Of
That's
course.
that's like the most hip hop government name that you can get.
Right. It almost, you almost don't think that's his actual name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, with I like it. You know, Obi Trice is another one too that I'm thinking of. His was very iconic when Eminem used it on the beginning of a song.
Yep. Real name, no gimmicks.
Yeah, that was pretty dope. And I do like that aspect though.
Nas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Nasir Jones.
You know what I mean? It's just short for his actual name. But yeah, anytime you get that, it's like they're giving you them.
Right. And in this case, Nick Grant's name is so kind of plain that's what like totally caught me off guard.
Yeah.
It's very plain.
He could be your
at least
banker.
Tupac Shakur sounds like
Unique. That's a very
Nasir
unique.
Jones sounds
Something
unique.
different.
Equally as hip hop
Talib,
as Tupac.
Right.
Probably,
Right.
These names sound already like it. Nick Grant doesn't sound like that.
He could be your accountant.
But yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
Nick Grant got my family plan started at
You know what I
T-Mobile.
mean?
Yeah. Nick Grant. Who are you here to see? Nick Grant in the corner.
Yeah. Regional manager of the.
But all that being said, I do like that though. I like the fact that it catches you off guard like that. That it's just like, oh, like, dude, because like this dude's so wholesome, like in one aspect. I'm not saying he's totally this way, but in one aspect, because he was raised by his grandparents. I mean, like that's like, and he's putting it on like in this album. He's like hyping that. Like that's the main part of his story, you know? Whereas some artists might shy away from that and not want that to be known that their grandparents raised them and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, there's this different thing to him where it's like, he doesn't care.
nope.
Like, you know, that's his story either way. So it's like, deal with it. Like that part is sick. That's ill. That I like about him a lot. And I think that, this album, like, you know, even with the girl on there, they were asking him, "Is that your girlfriend?" He's like, "No." And then they were trying to dig deeper, and it's just like, "Don't worry about it."
Right.
Well, who was it? All invasive. A jealous ex-girlfriend. Who is that?
Yeah.
Did you end up explaining how you when about Nick Grant? Did you end up listening to him beforehand?
Oh, beforehand or not? No,
Yeah.
this was my first introduction as well. This is my first time listening to him. But then it's me going backwards and seeing like what else did he? I mean, this is in a recent run of 5 or so years. This guy's been putting out work, and it's dope because it's different. Like the albums are giving you something different each time, so that's dope. Style wise, when you hear him, you brought up the Andre 3000 thing.
Yeah.
I totally heard that the first time without even knowing his backstory.
Oh yeah.
So that was something that I felt like, he did have that kind of sound to him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Different.
And it's not all South either.
No.
Yeah.
Like the lyrics, the actual what he writes down explains a little bit of it.
Right.
But you'd be hard to like. It'd be a tough bet to bet on, like, oh yeah, he's from the South.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah.
If he didn't tell you, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas like even like Andre 3000, like you can tell in his twang, he's somewhere down there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like even if he didn't say Atlanta or whatever, you could hear Southern twang in his, his voice. Big Crit. That dude is all Mississippi. Like there's no getting around it. Like he's all Southern. Wayne, he's all Southern, you know what I mean? Whereas a guy like Nick Grant, or it kind of reminds me of like Fonte from Little Brother, you know what I mean? Where it's like, if he didn't rep North Carolina so hard, you wouldn't know he was from North Carolina until only time you know he's from North Carolina is when he says North Carolina. Like the way he says it, he'll say it with that actual, accent. But outside of that, we're just listening to his raps. If he said he was from Virginia or Philly or, Jersey, you'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't really know. Like it wasn't like, and Nick Grant kind of gives that same thing. Like lyrically, it doesn't, yes, he's Southern and he reps it, but like you don't get that just off hearing him rap.
Yeah.
And on top of that, the thing about his style that's so dope is that he's giving you, different messaging and different introspective, songs and themes. But at the same time, which I love when rappers do this. Like a lot of the songs on here are really specific themes and different messages. But then he gives you a song like Art Dealer where it's like, okay, let me just show y'all how nice I am real fast. Like I like when MCs do that. Like I love a good story. I love a good message. I love getting to know MCs through their pain, their traumas, their lessons in life. But at the same time, I do like that one little intermission track where it's just like, okay, let me just show y'all how I get busy real fast. Like I like when rappers do that, and I feel like he's a good MC that does that. Like I feel like his mixtapes, that's what he was doing. It was more like, I'm just showing y'all how nice I am real quick. Then when he started getting his albums, he began to kind of craft kind of where, you'll get like a Nas or like a I'm trying to think of another example, like even like Common, like a lot of like Common albums are kind of like that, where it's like an album like Water for Chocolate. I would compare this album to something like that, you know what I mean? Those type of themes where it's like you're getting messaging, but it's not like beating you over the head necessarily conscious wise. Right. But at the same time, he'll give you tracks where it's like, let me just show y'all I'm nice. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like he really has a very diverse approach to how he writes. It's introspection. There's some conscious themes. There's some, relatable themes as far as how he grew up. I mean, he's basically around our age. So, we can relate to a lot of the stuff he's talking to as far as time period, as far as when he grew up. But at the same time, dude's nice. The punchlines are crazy. Yeah. And I mean, you could just YouTube his LA Leaker freestyles where he's just going crazy. Like he gives you all the total package, and it's one of those things where it's like, as dope as he is, I said this off camera, but I almost feel like Nick Grant came out like 3 years too late, like 3 maybe 4 years too late, as far as to be in that upper echelon with like a J. Cole, a Kendrick, even like a Wale, or in that class of MC, where it's like, had he come out in like, let's say 2011, 2012, I feel like he'd be sitting at that table with those guys, versus when he came out in like maybe 2016, 17, where it was like, man, that time had kind of passed, and it's like they were only looking to those guys for that type of music. It's like if someone tries to come in that lane, it's like the industry almost kind of shot. Oh, we already have Kendrick and J. Cole for that. We don't need another one.
We're at capacity here.
Yeah. That's kind of how they kind of treat it. At least from the outside looking in, that's the kind of way I view it. Whereas skill wise, he's every bit as good as they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just
that's kind of crazy. Like skill wise, that's a good point. Skill wise, he is just as good, I consider, to a J. Cole or Kendrick. He's
every bit as good lyrically as they are.
But that example of the industry already having artists like that, i.e. the example of when Nas went to Def Jam, they're like, we already have, there's already Cool G rap. We're good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's already like, we don't want a duplicate of.
Right.
Not saying that Nick Grant probably went and knocked on doors and stuff like that, but to be rapping like they did then now only puts you in association to them by like, oh, he kind of sounds like these guys.
Right.
And that's like the detachment of like, oh no, you're not in that group. A good example of that kind of group is being a part of, the Mos Def's, Talib's, Commons, around that circle.
Yep.
You know, he just, the train left the station too early for him.
Right. Because like if anybody tried to kind of fit that lane, let's say in, I don't know, 08, 09, that might have been too late. Whereas that Talib Kweli, Mos Def, Common lane was like late 90s, early 2000s. You know what I mean? As far as when they really started to take off.
Because like I don't know how this album did on the charts, like US Billboard 200 or anything, or top R&B. I don't know, but just from like in real life, I don't remember catching any of his singles or anything like that in radio or in just social media or anything like that. Not to say that it wasn't worthy of it, definitely worthy of that, but I didn't catch it. So that must mean to me like the backing, maybe it wasn't all the way there.
Yeah. But look where the word of mouth comes in, where one of our subscribers comes in and says, hey,
correct.
Boom, check this guy out.
This dude's nice.
Right.
And that's how we used to find our MCs.
Right. That's
how we used to find our albums.
Yeah, you guys were just talking about
when you look back at that, like we were saying, from that like 05 to like 2010 time, it was some of the most fun times in hip hop because you had to find the dope MCs. Like they weren't always going to be on BET or MTV. Like you had to do your digging through different, blogs and different forums. Maybe just download. You might have found this album, but then in finding this, you find this other song. Right. Who was this guy? And then, or downloading mixtapes, they have a feature with some guy on there. You're like, oh, who was this? And now you're going through their mixtapes. Like that's what that time period was. So and you want it to be early. Like that was also the fun part. You wanted to be early so you could tell everybody, hey, you need to check out Nick Grant. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was the fun part during that Kendrick, Cole, Drake, that time period, because you wanted to be like, hey man, yo, this guy J. Cole, he got this mixtape just came out. You need to check this out. Oh, I heard that. Hey, but have you heard of Big Crit? No. I'm telling you, like that's what that time was. It was a beautiful time.
It was like panning for gold because you wanted the gold to be you, like making sure that you put everybody on. Yes. The hip hoppers like really had to work around that time a little bit harder than we do now.
Right.
The access to this information is a little bit more instantaneous.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Whereas we had to do a lot of digging and, piece to the essence of that, because even back in the 90s and the 80s, you literally had to dig.
They were literally
through
digging.
vinyl, through CDs, through tapes to find, the best of the best. And essentially, even if we want to go through that, they even had to go through the paywall of buying the tape.
They had to buy the music.
Vinyl, whereas, not a lot of people were, listening or sending all this information out through radio.
Right.
So it's just a progressive amount of information searching and being, about it.
Right. And the good part is you could still find MCs like Nick Grant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those, that's what's so refreshing about him. Even though I kind of mentioned the timing thing, at the same time,
it's
for the sake of hip hop, he is a breath of fresh air. He's one of those guys that gives you like, when everybody's like, man, nobody raps anymore. Nah, that's not true.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you'll hear people say, no one's lyrical anymore. Nah, that's not true.
Yeah, you can't say that.
You may just have to find it, but they're out there.
He gives you already like a vintage feel. Like, if you're thinking about like what the 90s felt like, you can just listen to Nick Grant now. Like, and you could get that idea. He's a modern rapper that he can switch between like being melodic. He could do new stuff. Maybe you could even do auto tune, but you still hit you with some pure lyricism at the same time. That's what I think really makes him stand out. Also, another guy he kind of reminds me of is like a Elzai.
Very good comparison.
Because I can see that he has the abilities to go highbrow or go into like unique concepts if you wanted to. I feel like Nick Grant has that ability.
Absolutely.
If he wanted to do that, he could do that. It's kind of like a bridge, I think, between past and present. Nick Grant is, if you're looking, he's like an old soul already because his grandparents raised him.
Right, he says
so. He's already like that. So that's also dope. Going into the album cover, we have Nick Grant chilling on a Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning, and he's getting a fresh. Is she like massaging him or cutting his hair?
He's getting a haircut.
By a nice looking woman who's chilling on the back of it's an odd space to get a haircut, like right on the couch, but he's getting a haircut on the couch.
No plastic laid out. Right by
some
food,
fresh clothes.
Right by some food, a fresh plate.
Yeah, and he gets a fresh plate. The breakfast.
The plate's being handed to him by someone off camera.
Right. Which could be his grandma, maybe.
Yeah. Could be.
So
that plate's about to be really good too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It looked fire. That looked like some good food.
So for Sunday dinner, how does this hit you guys? How do you guys?
Man.
How does this hit you when you first saw it?
You're looking at, and I think this all comes, this loops into what we're talking about, vulnerability, because getting your haircut, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but that's kind of like the most vulnerable time for like people, well, guys in general, just because it's like, like we have consented that we're not looking the freshest, so we have to get cut. This is getting a photo at that time, bro. You would never catch me getting a photo of me getting my fucking haircut. But this is, I think this also applies emphasis on the vulnerability aspect of what he was probably trying to convey here. Though I still trying to like figure out what the plate of food can still mean, but Sunday dinner, I guess it'd be Sunday, the dinner's there. I'm just still trying to wrap my head around the whole haircut thing on the couch with.
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it,
no barber equipment
as
at
far
all.
as the title, kind of the aesthetic of the cover, the food, for me, like, Sunday dinner is like home. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, that's like a big, family tradition sometimes. A lot of families eat,
He's letting you in. He's letting you in his home.
Right. You know what I mean? He's comfortable. You know what I mean? Got the girl hooking the cut up. It's like comfort, home, relaxing, but like at the same time letting you in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it just, I don't think this is his home, but it makes you think it could be.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he could just be chilling at the crib. Like that's kind of the feeling I'm giving you, but he's giving, but at the same time, within letting you in, it's like you got the good. He'll probably let you in on some bad, some things he went through. But at the same time, it's like, I'm home. I'm comfortable enough to be vulnerable because I'm at home.
And then the thing is too is that the facial expression doesn't give you much to think about, like in terms of him being happy or amused.
Right.
It's not neutral. It's kind of like, like he's just indifferent about it.
Yes. Yeah.
And
he expresses some of those feelings too. Like in some interviews, he talks about feeling a bit conflicted on whether or not for the intro, like if he should have his mom on there for real, like, in her real environment, yelling at, her husband or whatever at the time. And so he battles with that and he asks her if it's okay. And he also wonders how people will receive it, about some of the tracks where he talks about like, being taken care of by his grandparents and stuff like that. So I feel like you're definitely spot on with the vulnerability, feeling indifferent about it. I like the colorway. I think the tan brown.
Yep.
It's a cool theme colorway that really pops out. And it makes it feel like it makes it feel warm, inviting Sunday So I get that feeling.
Yeah, he's matching the shoes. The plate still has some hints of
And
brown.
he definitely looks like he's going to church. Like I think he said that his grandparents is one of the rules. Like, you're going to church and you're going to eat Sunday dinner. Like, so that's automatic. Those are the rules under my house.
Right.
So, peace to the grandparents, really stepping up. That's sometimes very huge. Like,
absolutely,
when our parents or whatever can't meet that and the grandparents step in to be the parents, that's like a crazy thing, but it happens, and he's all the better for it. Like,
absolutely.
And he says that now he's friends with his mom, but like in a sisterly way. So, but it's like, peace to him for coming through that journey, because we all have our own walks and whatever like that. But it's a matter of like, how do we decide to handle that? You know? So peace to him on that. That's dope of him. But inviting us in to like, it feels like his grandma's home for Sunday dinner. That's what it feels like. It's dope though. So we go, usually about this time we cover 3 tracks in the album. We choose 3 of our favorites, and then we break down the lyrics and we talk about some of the punchlines, some of the meaning, what did we get out of this. And so the 3 tracks that we chose out of this album is going to be Bravo, Since Elementary, and Art Dealer. Those are going to be the 3 tracks. We have honorable mentions. I want to say Know Your Worth is an honorable mention. Did you guys have any other honorable mentions?
I liked Count Your Blessings and Catch This Fade.
Ooh, Catch This Fade. Yeah, that was
those are the 2 really good ones.
Catch This Fade. Yeah, that was a dope one. This whole album, though, for you guys who haven't listened to this album, you guys got to check this album out from beginning to end. It's like a full, cohesive. There's not a track on here where it's like, oh, it fell off. Like, no, all of it goes together very well. Very solid body of work. Yeah, very solid. And he said that he put a lot into this. This is like his what do they call that? I forgot the term that they call it, but basically like kind of like your staple album out of your discography. Like, he feels like this is one of those, a classic, if you will. He said that when he was writing this, there were times where it was so real that he brought himself to tears on writing some of this stuff. So like, that's, telling you like, yeah, this is an album that's the real deal. Like, right. This is some real bars.
Keeps it real.
And it didn't go wrong this time.
It didn't go wrong.
Just saying.
So we start off with Bravo's being the first track. Piece of genius for having these lyrics on here as well.
Yeah, they came through in the clutch on this one. Like, we're thinking like,
lyrics.
Yeah.
Verse 1, licked by a devil's tongue, I'm dripping with sin. Wipe your nose, they might even nap your kin. Just the wordplay already on that.
Wipe nose, napkin.
Nap your kin. Ooh. Quiet, cause know your moves when you say too much. Serial killer shooters, they live with Jason to us. They live the Jason to us, adjacent.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Bussin', pistol waving, it's up. Black murderers played as fuck. Look at our skin. Shit, even Band-Aids ain't made for us.
That's a hard bar right there.
That's a crazy bar.
That's one of them. Like, it sounds simple, but it's deep.
That's a crazy
like how the Band-Aids do not match black skin. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's deep.
It's like shit you're not even thinking of, but like when you think about it, it's like, oh shit. Like, that's kind of crazy.
They were not thinking about us when they made Band-Aids.
You got the wave till you JFK in your drop. Project Baby, you know the science. Shit ain't fair on my block. Oh, damn. Classic like Detroit Red, selling blow with Red Fox.
Detroit Red was Malcolm X.
Ooh, was that like a
that was like a nickname when he was doing dirt with Red Fox? So
I didn't know that.
So they called Red Fox Chicago Red, and they called Malcolm X Detroit Red because of his red hair.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I didn't know that. Okay, you ain't got enough to beef with him. How he your op? My father used to sing good as Luther. Wonder what happens. Feels like he might let his addiction poison his passion.
Wow.
Poison his passion. Even the alliteration to that.
Right.
Numb when I heard of his passing. No reaction.
Damn.
Saw him at his wake, looked like he had regret in his casket. Imagine these frigid streets. OGs survived the droughts where pull them CLs out just for some clout.
CL
CLs.
out,
Yeah.
clout,
What CLs was that?
car.
Cars. Oh,
It's I think it's CL's a Benz. Yeah, it's a type of Benz.
damn. Sugar water, Kool-Aid. Neighbor got roaches. They ain't got. We ain't. Then we got. Okay. Neighbor got roaches. Then we got roaches.
Yep.
Fiends high off of cocaine's souffle. Souffle. Cocaine souffle.
Man, that's not something Pusha T would say.
That's crazy. Mama say a prayer. I'm deeply in need of Jesus. My problem back to back, like sleeping with disagreements.
Woo!
Man, still I made it out.
Man, back to back, like sleeping with disagreements.
I just
like,
love this
It's
verse.
like two couples sleeping back to
Right,
back.
right,
When they go to bed mad.
Yeah, his punchlines are different, man. They make you think, and they're like just refreshing.
They're
because,
good nuggets.
yeah.
Like when you catch them, you're like, ah.
Yeah,
like when you said they pull them CLs out just for the clout. Like they bring the CL out and that spells clout.
Clout?
Like that's
Yeah.
hard.
Damn. Yeah, that's pretty legit.
Bravo, you made it out. Ups and downs come and go, but that's what life's about. Could work your whole life to get rich and they air you out, but bravo, my face dipped in gold. My face dipped in gold. Gold. Yeah, when that shit was Rocky, I still laugh at the weigh-in with Drago. So Rocky 4, Drago. The lone survivor, when he rhymes like his voice is the gospel. Eating at this fork in the road, still ducking potholes.
Eating at this fork.
Fork in the road, nice. Riding in the box Chevy, it's a custom model. Money is power, but it also disguises cowards.
Stop. The way he said box Chevy Customato.
Oh,
Box Customato like Tyson.
Yeah, Customado's the
Hard. Like Mike Tyson's trainer.
Yeah,
Hard.
riding in the box Chevy, it's a custom model. Money is power, but it also disguises cowards. Can't stop the rain when they hit your block up.
Scattered showers. Wow.
Can't stop the rain.
Shooting scattered showers.
Came in this industry a wide-eyed child. It's no surprise they molested my style. Can't think of nothing more vile. Must
Right.
be a limit on the flowers that these give out. Rap is a slut fest. Ideas get pimped out.
Damn.
Every idea can get it. No doubt.
Every idea can get it.
No doubt. No, that was not part of the lyrics,
I
guys.
know. It
No
sounded
doubt.
Like, it sounded like a bar.
No doubt. I stepped in the party, but they didn't know when I left the party. I'm never gaudy. My repertoire be filled with the baddest ones. I'm with the leave your once old ones salty. Let's run that back. Wait, filled with the baddest ones. I'm with the leave your old ones salty. I'm such a threat that it kills them to support me. The ghetto taught me how to throw hands, but now that's awkward. Bench 400 just to get hit with these 40.
Damn. Being buff don't matter when it comes to getting shot.
Bench 400 just to get hit with this 40. Sandy Rothstein so clean that she make a meal out of my offspring. Tender dark thing constantly playing on my heartstrings. Ghetto forever. No, who running shit as the jits point at your ride, they grew up to leave you slumped in it. Wow. So they were pointing at your ride as little kids, but lo and behold, a couple years later, they'll leave you slumped in it. 100 shit. Keep my distance from all the sucker shit. So rappers compromise their integrity for the fuck of it. But killing each other, that only helps the government. Because when real war comes, won't be too much of us.
That's deep.
A little thought-provoking there, bud.
That's deep.
Yeah.
That's real deep.
Bravo. You made it out. Ups and downs come and go, but that's what life's about.
And piece of the beat too, because the beat goes hard too.
Because you can work your whole life to get rich and they air
He said
you
he
out.
wanted who did he want on this? Jada Kiss on this.
Oh, word? Oh, wow.
He wanted Jada Kiss on this one.
Get him on that third verse to clean it up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
That would have been real nice.
Come in through like Mariano Rivera on that and just close it out.
Right.
Dog, get Jada Kiss on that last verse.
Ooh,
That would
yeah.
have been nice.
That would have really
He got
closed this
the-
track.
That would have been hard.
But that's cool. That's cool that you mentioned that because having an eye for who you want on your
Yeah,
verses
to know
like
who
that,
would be the
dude,
right person.
That's such a
That-
big deal. That's such a big deal.
you can't get anybody and everybody.
Right.
now.
But if
to
you get
even-
that
but to-
certain someone,
Right.
He knows the sound that Jada Kiss would have sounded
Oh.
nice on. And this beat goes hard. So, and the topic.
Oh yeah,
it's right up Jadakiss's alley.
Yeah. Oh, Jadakiss would have murdered that.
Yeah. So peace to him on this track. But I'd love already. You can see, guys, as you're going with us on the bars, like you can see these are different level bars. These are these aren't like your typical average MC. This
You're talking wordplay, double meanings, double entendres.
This is Elzai like level.
Yeah,
here, what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
We skip down to Since Elementary as being the next track. But like I said, there were some honorable mentions. Know Your Worth, Count Your Blessings is also a dope one. And it's funny because these are all Sunday like sermons you would hear on a Sunday. You know, Count Your Blessings, Know Your Worth. You know, so I like
easy lessons.
I like how it starts off that way. Since Elementary, dope one. This is also complemented with the music video as well. So check that one out.
I'll start. Tell me, why would I ever chase them if they come with the bread? Young switching bitches like his musical chairs. I call her Grey Poupon by the way that she spread, but I'm a cutthroat. All I want is some head. Cutthroat head.
Yeah, different.
See, like that's the punchlines.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, different. Nobody's perfect. She say to me, you're perfect. I keep the grass low so I can see the serpents. Let's roll some weed for worries from where the keys are purchased. I fuck her so good, she might buy me a Birkin. Oh,
damn.
Oh, woo. All right.
He told Charlamagne that that's like a legit thing that I think a girl told him one time or something like that.
This paper multiply, the money trees are fertile. Don't feed they circle, ain't G's, they gerbils. I lead with purpose. Y'all ain't read the sermon. You fucking with these clowns, ho, when you gonna lead the circus. Oh yeah, my watch foreign, my drop foreign. Bet my trunk pussy pop on the block and you know it. And you can tell I'm getting money by the way that it goes. And I'm a one of one. I'm too much for these hoes. Yeah, I've been pimping since pimping. That's from what movie was that on?
Oh, How High?
How High? Yeah, Mike Epps. Yeah. Pimping been since pimping since been pimping since been pimping.
Okay, I knew that was from somewhere.
Powder on my hand, baby.
I knew that was from somewhere. I was like, where have I heard this from?
How High.
Okay, that's where it's from. That's dope though. Like even the reference to that is dope.
Yep.
Yeah.
Since Peaches and Herb and Ashford and Simpson been hugging and kissing them since elementary. Cutlass and Regals and Palas and Bentleys.
Pimping been pimping since pimping been pimping since pimping.
You got to get your paper, shorty. Fuck them, let them hate. You got to chase the paper because the paper don't wait.
Paper don't wait. Yeah, that's sick.
And then the bridge is, bitch, I got more money than your hoe, don't talk to me. Bowling ball and Paula's, gold slugs throwing salt. About to break these off. Feel like Michael off the wall.
Woo.
I've been in it for a minute. Why they act like I ain't raw?
Tell them.
And that's dope too, like a bridge. That's
in a rap song. Like that's not something you hear.
That's not typical.
Bruh. She peel up out of that thong. Don't want affection. She just want to hear her favorite song. Since a teenager, she was fucking like she was grown.
Damn.
But learned her lesson through all that did her wrong. Drowning heartbeat in Patron. She say, I don't need that's only added drama. That's how it's supposed to be. My daddy's karma.
Damn.
Sipped and told her I love her. I felt her becoming distant. She said, yeah, you out here tripping just to get up out of your feelings. That ain't pimping. Because you got to get your paper, shorty. Fuck them, let them hate. You got to chase the paper because the paper don't wait.
Damn. That's cold.
But we always got to remember, guys, you got to be pimping since pimping since been pimping since been
pimping.
That's cool.
I think that's an historical reference that leaves us to about 5,000 AD.
Oh, so if we go back that far?
Pimping since been pimping. There's a lot of generations, bro.
So who would have been the first pimp?
Damn. Well, the first simp was Mark Anthony for Cleopatra.
Would Noah have been the first?
The first,
pimp?
like, most recognizable simp. Huh?
Noah been the first pimp?
Yeah, probably.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, well, Solomon for sure.
Solomon had
like
a lot
documented.
He had them.
Yeah.
That's funny, Solomon. So then we go down to the third, the third track.
Real quick with this song, though, like, there's a lot of airing of, because we're talking about a raw, authentic approach to an album.
Yes.
There got to be raw and authentic details to this. Like, this is the type of song, if I'm writing this, I leave Easter eggs for people that know.
Right.
You know, I are you guys kind of getting that with this type of lyricism?
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Those are the kind of songs, man. Because you always want to do like a song about like, you know, the past, you know, the romantic past or whatever.
Of course.
Knowing how dope it was, how, you know, the good, the bad, the ugly of it. This is kind of one of those songs I'm feeling Nick's like,
not,
you know what?
without naming names, but actually giving actual accounts of what went down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
I can see that one for sure.
For sure.
We dropped down to Art Dealer. Delphine's theme was a dope one. Go ahead.
I want to do Nick Grant's verse.
Okay. All right. And then Heard About Us, Catch This Fade is another honorable mention. Two Sides. I liked Almighty Dollar. I thought that was a dope one as well. Things of Ours. There's a lot of good songs in here. So we go down to Art Dealer.
Got you. Let's see.
Hit a Ransom's verse.
Yeah. Oh, there ran Go, vividly painted pictures like Van Gogh.
Already.
Schwarzenegger on the canvas and hands on commando. So Commando, the movie. I'm Thanos, destroying the world. We know every hand stroke. These paragraphs I splash on paper helps keep the fans close. Cinematic with the palette. Every word is too movie-like. The moody type, too real for the weak complaints and your bougie gripes. All these artists ranked over ran, but it's usually hype. Now it's uniforms to erase mistakes or remove your stripes.
Wow.
So removing the stripes on a uniform is usually associated with just dishonorable discharge or just getting your rank dropped. Slaves to the hashtag, produced for the masters. 20 lashes for them fascists who's afraid of all that backlash.
Man. Oh, man. Backlash?
Yeah. Not the wrestling pay-per-view.
Oh, no.
This is
whips on your back.
That's facts. All these thoughts that I gotta have be abstract. To think I'm in the future, but now I'm trying to get that. I'm trying to get past that. I'm Jean-Michel, but gone psycho, a strong maestro. Jean-Michel Basquiat, but gone psycho, a strong maestro. Putting words together, emerging letters, perform typos. On a search for treasures, my verses measures a Lord Light show. Damn. Jordan, Jackson, Tyson, as far as these mics go. Like the mic word plays, you can always do
classic.
that.
That's a classic trope in hip hop. The three Michaels.
Yeah.
Many have tried it. Most have done it successfully well. It's a nice, easy punchline, but he found a different way to approach it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like a lot of rappers have done the Jordan Jackson Tyson thing, but I like how he flipped it a different way. All right, Nick Grant. You hot boys, but we ain't Fahrenheit. Oh, see right there. Hot boys, Fahrenheit. Like Fahrenheit. You know what I mean?
That's was that a homonym almost?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your hard drive got my whole style. That's a terabyte. See, like you be biting my style, but a terabyte. Psh, a cold man sitting on money taller than Gary height. Know the street shit gets deep as the voice of Barry White. Ooh. Don't like to see you winning. That hater swallowed the love. Never hold the convo as long as they hold a grudge. Raining in dirty South. I got this shit out the mud. Hey, bitch, come see about the D. I give her all the above. Oh. A, B, C, D, all the above. Wow.
Because usually D is the all the above.
I just caught that. A, bitch, B, come see about the
D.
I give her all the above. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Nick,
that's
crazy. Take your chances.
I love wordplay.
Man, take your chances because they don't want to live like their parents. Egos running wild because they trauma don't like you staring. Money, violence, hand in hand. I'm just hoping somebody praying. The flow 1 in a million. I leave you right where you stand. Oh, see. The way he said it, he was like 1 in a million. I'll leave you like he's like a Aaliyah, like Aaliyah. I'll leave you right where you stand.
That makes sense.
Yeah, too. 1 in a million. I'll leave you right where you stand.
My love is 1 in a million.
Yep. Yeah. They know that I'm the best, but they won't pay me a thing. Funny, because if I die, the saint gonna name me king, man. You ain't never lied. Chasing dreams, but I'm running from fame. While some are chauffeured through life, boy, I'm driven by pain. Oh, chauffeur driven. I belong here, shining like a ball head, fold you like a lawn chair, project with no fear. Oh, this one of my favorite lines. I ain't never lied to you. Lyrically, I'm Paul Pierce.
Yeah.
Truth,
The
baby.
truth. Man. He could have just said lyrically, I'm the truth. But no, he said lyrically, I'm Paul Pierce to let you figure that out. I'm going to last a lifetime. They come and go like dog years. I'm sorry how we living has no storybook ending. Coop with the frog eyes. I pull up and kiss your princess. Man, princess kissed the frog, turned into a prince. But mama never had it. Can't imagine struggles. Gotta fuck a set of twins for every time I work a double.
Nice.
Man, middle finger. Fuck you church babies, but we hustling. Catch a body, but they never confessing about it. Word to Usher. Project baby, dirty, musty. Chop the work up like I'm Dilla. Chop the work up, make a slushy. Black out the stick rushing. Forgot about the real doing all the dick guzzling. No compliment to get from me. Gotta keep the hits coming. I like a big body Benz. I like a southern thick woman. Want to raise her kids country. Carolina, who want it? Man.
You gotta give it up
there's
to
a
Nick
lot
on
of
that
So
one.
many
There's a
bars
lot
in
in
it.
there.
So many layers. Like,
to
I
unpack.
mean, 1 in a million.
I'm
I
still
leave you
stuck
right
on the
where you
Paul
stand.
Pierce. I'm still stuck on that one.
All of the above.
Never. Oh, that was the one that got me.
Yeah.
He said, "Hey, bitch, come see about the D. I give you all of the above.
Not the D.
A, B, C, D. That's crazy. That was hard.
Yeah, it's just the way he delivers these are just different. It's fresh.
Mm-hmm.
It's fresh, man.
1 in a million. I leave you where you stand.
Yeah, I love stuff like that too. Like stuff that are like hidden in plain sight.
Yeah,
Because
that's
he's not saying
well said.
Aaliyah. He just says, "I'll leave you." Like, and it's like it's fucking.
You gotta
it's
piece-
ghost written in there.
Yeah, you got to piece
well,
that together.
It's like lyrics that are with that the what they call it, the black ink, where you have to bring that.
Yeah, they get a little decoder.
The black light.
Yeah.
The
It's
MC
like that.
listening is kind of like the decoder.
Yeah,
Like
that's what it feels like.
This is a prime example of being an MC for MCs.
Right.
Yes.
And rapping for rappers.
Absolutely.
You know, we as rappers, sometimes you face this type of situation where should I dumb it down for my audience? The Jay-Z line rings up a few times. Or do you stand on, no, I want them to learn a little bit. Let me learn them a little bit.
Yeah.
Do I do it like this? And then we have Nick Grant in this position where
Right.
he feels, no, I don't want to make it that easy. You know, let me give him a little wordplay. Let me give the custom model, customato.
Right. That was fire.
Yeah, that's another one.
Right.
Finding
Box
those-
Chevy, Customato. Come on, man.
Finding those avenues to entertain the people that listen. It's a treat because when it pays off, you're just like left perplexed.
Yep.
Because you're like, oh, I just got that.
Right. Like I said, I just caught the ABCD.
Yeah.
Like when I first heard it, I caught the CD, but I didn't catch the AB in the front of that. Like I was like, oh, he literally gave you all the multiple choice. Like,
And the longer you let it marinate, the bigger the payoff because like, man, I've been
Yes.
listening for how long and I didn't
I
get
just
it?
caught that. Right. That's always refreshing
Yeah.
to do. And it's funny though, you mentioned the Jay-Z line, dumb it down for my audience, because it's like you get the opposite of that, with Lupe Fiasco on one of his mixtapes.
Yeah.
He's like, Bishop G, they told me I should calm down, cousin, but I flatly refuse. I ain't dumb down nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you got that choice to make at fork in the road,
Yeah.
which route to go with. You know what I'm saying? You have to live with that. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z lived with the decision he made. He feels he made the right one. Lupe stood on, as the kids would say today, he stood on business and was like, nah, either you raise your level of thinking while listening or you don't.
Yeah.
And I'm not, I'm not judging those that don't get it, but I'm rapping for those that either get it or want to get it.
Yep.
Very well said.
And Nick Grant, I feel like he's one of those without, I'm sure there's lines somewhere in his catalog where he says it, but he's doing that through his lyrics.
And then the thing, him referencing himself as a Paul Pierce is also very telling because Paul Pierce is one of those players who from the outside, you might look at him and think, oh, he's kind of out of shape. that dude will give it to you.
Come on,
any
now.
given day. He will drop it on.
I mean, the game. I mean, Shaq gave him the nickname "The Truth" because of a game he dropped like 45 on the Lakers, and they was like, "What do you think of Paul Pierce?" Yeah. Shaq just came out. He's the truth.
Yeah,
and it just stuck from there.
Yeah. Okay, so he's one of those guys, and to relate that to him is basically putting him in that same cloth where it's just like, nah, in Showtime, I'm gonna show up, and so that was also dope.
That was a good little comparison there, because you're right. Like, you might look at it like, saying that, like, you might look at his name like Nick Grant. Like,
yeah.
But then you hear him rappers like,
oh yeah, like, oh wait, hold on,
hold on, what did he just say?
Yeah, and then also too is not too many Paul Pierce references.
Right, that's not a common.
That's not like saying I'm Kobe.
Right, there's a million of those. You know what I mean? Paul Pierce. That's you got to know a little basketball to do that. You know what I mean? And oh no, so even like
we'll be right back after these short messages.
That's the first time I've ever done that. First time I've ever done that, y'all. Sorry.
So yeah, I mean, just full of bars. I'm actually glad that you did choose this one, Ali, because it does showcase
the artist,
the Big Ellis part of him.
Correct.
Because he has that too, like where he could do these like freestyles that are like showcasing like just your lyricism.
I love when MCs do that. Like I said, I love the introspection. I love the vulnerability, the storytelling. But I call these like intermission tracks. Like, let's throw one of these in here just for y'all to just see I'm nice.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this was not a song about a specific topic. It was just
him going off.
I'm dope, and I need y'all to recognize that.
Yeah.
I love when MCs do that.
You need some tracks like that on your album. Because he didn't get a chance to really start that way. He started off already concepts. You know, he didn't get to start off. Usually your first track or so is the braggadocious one.
Right.
He didn't really have that. He went straight
He kind of went to the subject matter, and then later on was like, oh yeah, by the way,
let me drop that braggadocious.
Do this real fast. Let me just show y'all.
Yeah.
You know
so
what I mean?
That was dope.
Love that.
Takeaways from listening to this album, and takeaways just from your introduction to Nick Grant.
I want to keep hearing him because he sounds inviting for me, because I enjoy the lyricism. I enjoy listening to stuff like that, because the more you listen in, you're gonna get. It's like rewatching a really good movie. You're gonna start picking up. You'll pick it up. You'll pick up new things in them.
Great comparison. Yeah, for me, I mean, this was dope. He's one of the newer artists that I was glad I discovered, like I said, when I did a few years ago. And his catalog it's representative of the balance we need in hip hop. You know what I mean? And that's what I appreciate what he brings. Like I said, there's room in hip hop for every type of hip hop. But when I say there's room for every type of hip hop, we need this in there too.
Right.
Like, that's what I mean when I say every type of hip hop. No problem with the partying. No problem with the twerking, shaking your ass shit. No problem with the trap music. But you gotta have this too. Like, this matters.
The balance of it.
Lyricism, thinking, stuff that makes you want to, catch it later. Oh, that's the point I wanted to bring up. Like, I like artists that make me use the rewind button. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That's a song that what did he just say? Rewind. If you make me abuse the rewind button, you are doing your job in my book.
Right.
You know what I mean? And this was a song that last song, Art Dealer, was a song that made me do that. And that's what I like to catch, my favorite MCs doing. They make me abuse that rewind button. Because did I hear that right?
Right.
Oh, he did say that. That's what Nick Grant does. And I need people listening to him, because he's one of those artists that give you the balance, the dope lyricism, the introspection, the all around MC that we need in this present day.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you 100% on that one. And it does make me excited to listen to more of what he comes out with next, especially listen to the album before this, like how different that was. And I thought that was even cool. And just sometimes you just need music where you could just, not have to think either. So like, I felt like that was cool. And then it gives you this project, which is like, okay, well, now let's go home. Let's like talk about my story, which is dope. And then it's cool to now know, okay, after you talk about your story, what's next? Like when I think about that, I think about like Kendrick's like Good Kid, Mad City.
Right.
He talked about his story, But then what was next? You know, what came after that? And,
Butterflies like, okay, now these are my experiences since this.
Right.
How it relates to this.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see what's that like for Nick Grant now. So that's cool. But then seeing all the skills that he has like this, that's going to make it really interesting.
Dude's a problem.
Yeah. Or even to see who he features up with. Like, that would also be interesting too. To see that.
And it's funny, y'all, you know, both him, you had mentioned Elzai. Their songs where I think Royce on one of his mixtapes has a song with Nick Grant and Elzai both on it. Damn. You know what I mean? So it's like that
all of what you mentioned, they end up coming back.
That camaraderie, you know what I'm saying? Because like when you mentioned, I had to just look at it. I said, wait, haven't I heard them on a song together? And sure enough, on one of Royce's
really?
Mixtapes, yeah.
That's crazy. That's dope. I gotta check that one out then.
Yes.
Okay, so that's crazy. But yeah, I think this is cool for the future of of what for hip hop and stuff. Like, it's gonna be cool to see like where he goes with this. Because one of the lyricists that I see that's part of the newer generation is Jid, and I kind of wonder like what's that going to be like, once he takes over the reins and the Kendrick Lamar thing is done.
Right, when they're in their 40s and stuff. It's like, okay, now you still got somebody like Jid that's like, he might be like 30. I think he's 34, I want to say.
Yeah.
So, like, he still got some years left in that prime. Right. You know what I mean? Thankfully, we've reached a space where your hip-hop prime can extend to like 40, 45. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not in the time where it's like, once you're 35, it's like, I'm retiring.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, nah, you can literally do this till you die. Really,
right now, face of hip hop is Kendrick, right?
He's
non-debatable.
He's like 37.
Okay,
you see what I'm saying? Like, that used to not really be the case. Like, you couldn't be the top of hip hop unless you were in your mid 20s.
Yeah, because their age never showed up at that point.
Yeah.
The 30s didn't show up till a lot
later. Correct, because back then it was like, I think just the concept of a 30-year-old rapper just didn't resonate. You know what I mean? When you look at like the Big Daddy Kane, kind of Rakim, that era, it was like they almost kind of felt handicapped when like they turned like 31, 32. It's like, should I still be rapping? You know what I mean? Like, I really think a lot of them dealt with that. Like, should I still be doing that? And I think that kind of hindered what that could have been, because that just wasn't around.
Yeah.
They didn't have there weren't examples of 35-year-old rappers. But then, we come up, we see Jay-Z, Nas, rapping well in their 40s. Like, oh no, we can do that. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not a big deal at all anymore.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. It's at all. Like Jay, Nas, Push, like these dudes in their 40s. So yeah, there's no age limit.
So yeah, check out this album. If you guys haven't listened to it, you guys are going to be satisfied. I think this whole album is a classic. So make sure you guys check that out. But then also too, we're dropping episodes every Monday, so make sure to be on the lookout for the next drop. Of course, we're on the road to 2,000 subs on YouTube, so we need your full support everywhere. And if you guys could do us a big favor too, on Spotify and Apple Music, if you guys could give us a rating, that would really mean a lot, and that would help us overall in the ratings category of these platforms. That would really do a lot for us.
Yeah.
Mark, go ahead, let them have it, man.
To the MCs, if you drop a mic, drop a like.
Drop a like. Yeah.
Peace
Till
out,
next
y'all.
time, man. Till the next Sunday dinner. Make sure to come through. Gotta make sure to drop us a sub, man.
Yeah.
Peace.
We need that. We're thirsting for it.
We're craving it.